So can we start with, go ahead and mute yourself if you're not one of the four people that are going to be leading this. And then can we, maybe let's start with Katie and let's just go around with Katie, Nicole, Alexa, and Emily. And can you just say like who you are, maybe what else you do? I think all of you are either a stay-at-home mom or have other jobs. So if you want to share that and then maybe how long you've coached and then we can get an idea of like who's talking. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Katie. I've been coaching since December of last year, so like 6 months. And I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have two littles, 4 and 1.5.
That's a busy job.
It is. Actually, he's almost 5, so starting school in the fall.
Nice.
Crazy.
Nicole, do you want to go?
Sure. Good morning. I'm Nicole. I started coaching in January after I started my journey, and I'm a public health nurse. And with all this COVID, my job is awful right now.
This is a good outlet for you then, at least.
Yes.
Emily, and then Alexa, you can go.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Emily, and I have been coaching for just shy of 1 year. I think May starts when I joined the group, and then July was when I started actually working the business. And I am a kindergarten teacher. I'll be going on my 6th year.
Nice.
And then usually I work a bunch of summer jobs, but not quite the case this summer.
All right, Alexa.
I'm Alexa. I am a full-time college student. I'm going to school to be a teacher. I'm majoring in early childhood special ed. I usually have a ton of jobs here and there, but right now I get to be a full-time Beachbody coach, so that's fun.
Nice. Okay, maybe let's start with Alexa, and let's go with this one first. What do you wish you knew on day one? Like you know now, but you wish you knew, you wish someone told you, or you wish you figured it out. What do you think that is for you?
So, I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that you wish you knew on your first day. But I think that mine would be how the structure of our business is set up. Our business is set up so that we recruit and we bring more people, more coaches on with us to be able to get more people to experience this. And when I first started, I was thinking the goal was to, get as many challengers as possible. So Brittany was telling me Alexa, why didn't you add this person as a coach? And I was like, I don't want to add them as a coach. That's even more scary than what I'm already doing. And I was like, I just want to get started and add a few challengers first. Well, then, it wasn't until later that it really clicked that, adding coaches to my team can help the entire team. And that's how we can grow and be able to get more people to actually experience this and make it a new lifestyle. So
yeah, I like that. That's good. Nicole, Emily, Katie, you don't all have to answer, but maybe we should all answer this one. Let's all answer this one. Nicole, do you want to go next? You're unmuted.
Yeah, I can. So what I wish I knew was that when I actually started my journey in October, I wish I knew how to start getting challengers with me right away. I wish I would have said, hey, I'm doing this program. Can somebody do it with me? And I didn't start actually showing what I was doing and asking people to join me and encouraging people to join me until January. And so I missed all that time of getting somebody, getting people under me to reach Emerald and to start changing people's lives until I was I think one of my, because Candace and Holly both asked me hey, start coaching. And I think I was I need to make sure that these products work for me before I start promoting them. And I wish I would have just started getting people under me when I started in October. So that's what I'm trying to get my new coaches to do, is get people excited with them and do it with them while they're doing it.
Yes, that's a great point. Some people think that they have to have like these badass results before they can do it, but gosh, you're not the first coach I've heard top coaches say, I just started from day one and I asked people to do it with me. That's gold. Emily, do you want to go?
Yeah, Nicole, 100% feel you on that one. For me, I think from day one, I wish that I would have been in the right mindset for what inviting actually meant. Um, to me, it was like black and white. Inviting was saying, hey, do you want to join my group? Do you want to try out this product? Da, 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 da. Whereas it's not like that at all. It's seeking out, like-minded people and people who would fit your tribe and just starting a conversation, building that relationship first and getting to know each other and then just letting it naturally happen. So I guess that's something that is a big one for me.
Nice. Katie?
Just to kind of piggyback on that, I guess that's what I kind of said too. I started, when I thought about this question, I said, you don't have to know it all right away to start, which is kind of like how I am. I feel like I need to soak up all of the information before I can start doing it. But really, all you have to do is start having conversations with people and share what you're doing and do activities that are going to grow your business. And those are the conversations and figuring out what you're going to say in your posts to put yourself out there and like let people know what you're doing.
Yeah, those are all great answers. We could do a team call on literally all four of their answers from just that question. Okay, want to share, since you all are different with jobs and how your days work, how do you manage coaching and life? Like, when do you do it? How do you do it? How much time? What are your best tips? So how do you manage all of life and coaching? Should we start in the middle? Maybe let's go, Alexa. Do you want to start?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll give you kind of two synopsis because my days are like always changing. So when I first started, I was a full-time college student with 3 jobs. And so I was actually riding the bus. I go to UW Stout, if anybody knows where that is. It's a super small campus, it probably takes like 20 minutes to walk from one end to the other. But when I started, it was winter, so I was riding the bus from North Campus to South Campus, which was anywhere between like a 5 to 10 minute drive. And so during that time, I was sending out my invites. I was following people, coming up with captions, and then in between walking to classes, I was kind of popping up on my stories. And then at night, I would just kind of sit down. I is actually a phone-a-thoner. So, those nice people that call and ask you for some more money after you've, paid everything to go to college. I was that person. You're welcome. So I actually had a lot of freedom with that. So I would be working while working, doing the coaching while on the phone with other people. I actually got really good at that multitasking. But when I'm teaching, it looks a little different. I do a lot of my work in the morning, and then I do just a few check-ins and probably a few follows during lunch. And then at night, I kind of finish up what I didn't do really in the morning. So right now I've been kind of, like I said, full-time. So I get more freedom to kind of split it up throughout the week, which is nice.
Nice. How about Katie? How do you make it work with being in charge of little ones that need you all the time?
It's hard because I'm the number one person responsible for my kids. I don't have childcare. They don't leave me regularly. So when I first started, I struggled because I don't have time during the day. And I said that. And I think I had a conversation with you, Candace, and you were like, I get up early. That's my time. And for the longest time, I was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't get up that early. But I started doing it, and that's how I get it done. I wake up with a purpose. I'm intentional about my time, and that's when I get my stuff done before my kids wake up. And during naps, like if I have little snippets of time throughout the day, I will use that to do small things too. But the morning is when I get so much done.
Yeah, definitely. Emily, Nicole, do you guys want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I'll say something to piggyback, Katie. Being intentional with your time has changed my work drastically. Right now I'm working from home being in public health, but typically I'm in the office and in schools. And so working that way, I have to be a little more purposeful and get it done in the morning or in the evening. Right now I'm working on my coaching business while I'm working because I'm either on the phone or answering emails. But I used to mindlessly just scroll through social media at night or in the morning, and now I'm just more purposeful with my scrolling. I'm already, I update with my posts. What I was already doing, I'm doing now, just including coaching. So it hasn't changed too much for me, except for being more intentional, like Katie said.
Awesome. Emily, anything?
I would have to say my best work times are morning and honestly in the evening. I'm just a kind of a night owl like that. It's just weird. But I definitely have been way more intentional with my scrolling, and I 100% understand that they say as a coach, like, you're going to make the money that you put the time and effort into. And that's something that I am working on, is being super intentional. Just, bookending my days and finding those pockets of time. And kind of like what Alexa was saying, just when it was a school year, working in those breaks over your lunch or your prep or whatever, if I was able to do that. But my goal is definitely to be more intentional in the morning and to just get it done, and then doing little check-ins throughout the day now that I have that availability in that time.
Good. So you guys all kind of said like you're more intentional, purposeful. So how do you decide? Because we all know that we can work this business in super small amounts of time, but we do have to be really intentional. How do you decide, like, and how do you know when you have those little pockets, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I do in the morning, and when I get up early, like, this is the list? Like, how do you know, and how do you decide what those are? Does anyone want to start?
Yeah, I can. I think at that diamond retreat, Candace, when we like literally broke down your whole day, it was unbelievable how much time you find out that you actually have to work your business. And then just deciding when you want to work it. So we literally just like started big, what are you doing in the morning? When do you have to be at work? When is your lunch? When is your prep? And then your evening. And then, if you have like your family, your kids, maybe you want to have your evenings open to be just with your family because you're going to help with homework and cook dinner and put them to bed. But then maybe you're working after that. So just really writing out your day has helped me.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Katie.
If I don't make a plan the night before, I will wake up and dawdle. So I have to, before I go to bed, I have to think about, okay, what am I going to wake up early and do? And usually it's setting up groups or doing some kind of training. The Josh Coates training has been my favorite lately, but I haven't been doing it lately, but that's a good one. Answering messages, following up, writing my posts, those type of things. I have to have that in mind when I wake up. Otherwise, I'll just sit and scroll social media, or I'll make some story that I don't need to do, but being intentional and having a plan again.
Perfect. Alexa, Nicole, anything else you want to add on those?
So one thing that helps me is I try to create at least 4 posts like on a Sunday, so that those are ready to go for the week. That's one way that I'm really intentional. But otherwise, I try to do like the main things like that are really going to grow my business. When you listen to a lot of calls, you hear you know, those business growers that you have on your tracker, like inviting, getting those things done first has been really helpful.
Yeah, I like that, getting those big pieces that you know are going to push the business forward done first, because then everything else you can kind of do after. I like that too. Nicole, anything?
Yeah, so this is one part that I am struggling with. And I think a lot of it is because I am working from home right now and I kind of can get lost. So I do try to make a plan the day before. Sometimes when I have like an aha moment, I'll write it down, because what I am noticing, and I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, when I make an evening post, I get like half of the likes I normally would as if I did it in the morning. And so if I have like an aha moment in the afternoon or evening, I'll put it off and I'll try to post that the next morning with like some content. And I don't know what it is, but I just get more, I don't want to say attention, but I get more like
More
likes and comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More people
Um, more people messaging me when I make posts in the morning. So I try to push those off until the next day. But also, it's weird. I will get a lot of people who will do that mindless scrolling in the evenings, and I'll get messages at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And I have to remind myself that if I want to get up early the next morning and work my business, I need to not sit on the phone with them for half an hour at 10 o'clock at night when it's maybe the best time for them, because it's not the best time for me. So either I'll message them and be like, hey, thanks for the message, I will get back to you tomorrow, or sometimes I just let it go unanswered and then I'll message it. I'll get to them tomorrow and I get a good response back. So I've noticed that I've had to change that mindset a little bit.
Yep, that's huge too, because this job, we all want time freedom eventually. And if you're answering messages when it's not business hours for you, then you're not getting that. So I like that a lot. Okay, just a couple more. How do you guys find the people that have joined you? Like, have they just been family members? Have people just come to you? Are you on is it Instagram people that you don't know? Like, where would you, like, how do you guys go and find your people? Who wants to start?
A lot of, oh, sorry. A lot of my current like challengers and clients, they are in my warm market, so they're my family and friends. So I'm working on putting myself out there to go find similar likes, like in other Facebook groups or Instagram, what is it, like hashtags or groups or whatever, we have similar interests, and then going and following those people. I really struggle with the follow unfollow, so I'm working on that. But then again, yeah, just seeing who kind of fits my avatar with interests and likes and
Nice. Nicole?
Sure. So when I make a vulnerable post, I'll get multiple messages the next day saying, hey, I'm in this exact same spot. So that is how I have found a lot of my followers, is by those vulnerable posts. And I think actually none of my challengers are family. Apparently those are not my people, I guess. My people are like fellow nurses who also need help with like accountability because they work 12s, night shifts, whatever it might be. They have families. And when I make a vulnerable post, those are the people that kind of come out of the cracks that are like, okay, yes, I'm in this exact same spot. And we end up being like-minded. So when I send out invites, one of the things that's kind of stopping me is I am friends with people who I went to high school with. And that's kind of where I'm getting stuck. And I don't know if maybe Candace, this is a question coming up, so I might be going down a rabbit hole, but I don't really know who some of these people are until I send those invites, because we have changed growing up, right? You change your outlook in life. You are growing into a new human, going through that weird, awkward teen phase. And so I don't think about who I'm going to follow. I hit follow because people change, and I don't know what's going to show up. I follow as many people as I can. I Candace has really been pushing me to just add friends and not think twice about it. And it's because of what she said last week in our team meeting that you don't get to decide who gets the gift.
Yeah, for sure. I don't remember who told me that, but I always think of that when I'm like, I don't want to send this invite to this person I know in real life. Maybe it's a coworker. That's usually who it is for me. Like, and I just then you just do it. I like that. Good. Alexa, maybe? Should we next?
Yeah, so I feel like most people, I started with my warm market. And of course that kind of sizzles out slowly. So I'm a full-time college student. So honestly, I looked up colleges for a long time in the surrounding areas, and anybody who had that tagged, I would follow them, women, and then just kind of like looked through their profiles. And honestly, almost everybody who has followed or who has joined my challenge group, they're actually from day one, like day one people that have been following me. I've had, a few classmates or something that have found out that I'm a Beachbody coach, but mainly like just people that I had following me that I wasn't necessarily friends with. But I do invite. I try to invite every day. It's usually more like 2 to 3 times a week I invite, and those are anybody who likes my posts or watches my stories. And then when I have somebody join my challenge group, I usually go into their profile and look at their posts and kind of follow some of the people who are interacting with them. And then I also ask them if they have any friends who would benefit from it too, and most of them tell me no. So I think that's just kind of my age group, but yeah.
I think that's interesting when you said it was people that were already following you. So I think that goes to show us like that 3 to 6 month window that it takes for someone to follow you and be like, oh yeah, I do trust this person. She shows up consistently, even when it's not easy. Yep, she can help me with my journey because she's going to be there. Like, I do think that when you said that, I'm like, yep, that fits that rule right there. Katie, do you want to add anything?
Can I add something quick?
Oh, yeah.
I had a few, just the last few people, like I said, I've been coaching for a little over a year. The last few people that have joined me, I've invited at least 7 times. So
Yes.
I remember asking Candace, I was like, but like how many times? Because I feel like there's too much. And there's not. As long as they're still being kind to you, just send it anyway.
Yeah, I agree. If they didn't want, they would stop watching your story or they would unfollow or not like the post. So yeah, I agree. If they're still interacting with your things, you just keep asking them. Katie, anything?
When I first started, I was obsessed with growing my following on Instagram and getting likes on everything. And Brittany always tells me just to focus on connecting with 3 people a day. So I feel like I complicate everything and I just need to simplify. So find someone you have something in common with, comment on their stuff, or comment on a story or a post. And that's it. Really, a lot of the people I have are warm market, like everyone's pretty much said, people that you already have that trust with. One person was a random Instagram find and it just clicked right away, but it doesn't have to be only new people. I feel like a lot of the people, don't discount the people that you already know that are already in your network, that are already watching what you do.
Yeah, that's good. That's interesting. You all said warm market and Nicole said hers weren't joining her, but I was more like Nicole. It took 6 months before I had a lot of warm market people join me. Mine were more Instagram finds. So that's interesting. I think it's all different though. So awesome. And then let's just wrap it up. Unless, does anyone else have any questions you want to get asked? And then I'm going to ask one more. No? Okay, let's just share what's your best piece of advice? A coach is watching, they've been in this business or they're brand new, it doesn't matter. What do you tell them? I don't want to put anyone on the spot. Is anyone ready to start? Emily looks ready.
I don't know.
Alexa,
Oh.
you go ahead.
Okay, mine would be get a tracker and do your best to come close to completing it. I think I've killed myself a million times over again about hearing everybody say, like, follow the tracker, how were you successful? I follow the tracker, and not being able to finish the dang tracker every day, and letting that get in my way. So, I mean, I feel like I've moved my business forward a lot more just trying to complete the tracker than actually the times I've completed it. So just do the work and I don't know, be willing to get messy with it because you'll figure it out. It'll work out.
Perfect.
I'm going to piggyback off of Alexa. So where I'm at right now is do not OD on the PD. And I know Candace preaches that as well. But like we had our first call and she was like, wow, I can't believe you have all these questions already. Like you're just starting off. And that's because I just went all into like all the videos. So don't OD on the PD and take action. And if you're like me, I know Katie, you said like you just overthink and overcomplicate everything. Like, but what does it look like? But how do you do that? And I think Alexa hit it right on the head where you just need to be okay failing. You have to be okay getting no's. You have to just take action. And if you don't know, then utilize the tracker. And what I'm doing is every day, I think pretty much every day on the Team Beachbody page, Facebook page, there's a coach who is literally leading a power hour. Like if you don't know what it looks like, then pop on there and just do it with them. And so that's kind of where I'm at because I don't have a schedule that works for me quite yet, and I'm figuring that out. And so I'm just going to utilize those resources to help me, take those actions and take those steps towards expanding and building my
I think
business.
PD is amazing, but if you use it to cripple yourself or like paralyze yourself from moving forward, then it's doing more harm than good. So yeah, I like that. And I love what Alexa said too. Like people already figured out what to do for us. They put it down in a tracker and that came from the elite coaches. So do as much of it as you can, as often as you can, and don't be afraid to mess it up. All right, Nicole, do you want to go?
Yeah, so I have two pieces. One, pivot your mindset because don't let those no's get you down. It is so easy to be like, oh, they said no. Why am I selling this? I can't get anyone to join me. Pivot your mindset. I have like 17 people right now that are ghosting me. They didn't say no. They could have said no, but they haven't said no. So I will continue to sneak into their messages and offer little pieces here and there. So if you hear a no, it is not a no, I'm not interested ever. It's maybe a no, not right now. And then just continue to work with those who are maybe ghosting you. Like they're continuing to watch your stories. They're continuing to like your posts for a reason. They're supporting you. They want to be part of it. Just keep working with them. And then the other piece was, and I don't remember we ever heard this, but remember that this isn't a get rich quick business, right? We are working to change lives because ours was changed and we want to share the gift because somebody shared it with us. Remember that don't just sell to somebody because they're interested. Like you want them to be able to trust you, get to know them a little bit, ask them their goals. And I really had to change my mindset with that one. And I told this to Candace, when somebody messages me, I just want to like, word vomit or whatever. And I'm like, oh yes, this is what we do, blah, blah, blah. And I've had to stop and be like, wait, they've reached out to me for a reason. Tell me about yourself. What are your goals? What are you wanting out of this? And that has been probably one of the biggest things that has changed my business is stopping the word vomit and turning it and putting the ball back in their court and getting them to talk about themselves because that will keep them that will keep their trust in you. That will, I mean, I get messages every single day. I have one girl who's been in it for 2 weeks and she's down 12 pounds. I don't really know. I mean, she has some terrible habits, and she's like, Nicole, thank you. Like, she was one of those. I stopped with the word vomit, and I was like, tell me what you want out of this. What do you expect from me? What can I do for you? And it has changed her life so far. So, you know, put the ball back in their court. I'm word vomiting again. Go ahead.
That was great. That was awesome. Katie, gonna wrap it up.
I just be coachable, and people are successful in this business, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just do what's working, and even if it's uncomfortable, just do it. Take advantage of all the resources and the trainings and the power hours, and the top coaches do power hours on YouTube. You can find them. Just go on there and search. There's information on everything, so don't be afraid to go look on there too.
Yeah, that's perfect. If you need something and you don't want to ask your coach, or you've already asked her a million questions maybe, and you're like, I better stop, YouTube, just they're everywhere. The coach office has videos. Yeah, you can find literally anything. If you're wondering something specific, type it in and I guarantee it'll pop up. So that's awesome. Anybody else with any last things? Brittany, anything from questions or?
One thought that I came up at one point in time in here, when you are doing a training, just keep in mind whatever you learned on that training, you're not like stopping what you're doing and doing a 180. Like, you're just kind of taking things in from that training to like help the areas where you feel like they might need help. Like, it's not to, when you watch a training to see how somebody else does it, I don't want you to ever think that you're doing the business incorrectly, because there is no right or wrong way to do this business. But there are ways that you can definitely improve. So when you come across a training, you're not stopping what you're doing and starting completely over. You're just taking bits and pieces that you can implement to the system that you're already doing. Like, you guys are already successful, and you might find that there are pieces that you need to work on more. So when you're watching a training, that's all you're doing, is just kind of filling in those holes that might need a little more attention, and things like that. So just keep that in mind as you continue to watch trainings. And it is like PD, I feel like it's the same thing when you actually go and watch training videos. You know, make sure that you're doing the actions and not all training. Training is amazing, but also like don't overdo it, because then you just feel like, I'm not doing anything right. I'm not, you know, I suck at all this kind of thing. So also, if you're feeling like that, limit yourself to all the trainings that you're diving into. Yeah, and you know, you're not doing anything wrong. There's no right or wrong in this business. So really keep that in mind when you're out there.
It's good. You guys were awesome. I like feel pumped up myself for the day from this. So thank you for that. Have an awesome rest of your day, guys. Thanks for doing that, you four. That was really good. See you guys.
Bye. Thank you.